Testing, testing, one, two, testing. Hello to the entire world out there, or whoever's listening. Turn on our microphones. Okay, and we are live. We have made it to another Friday, boys, girls, and everyone in between. Let out that sigh of relief for a moment. Friday, weekend's here. Hopefully, you don't have to work over the weekend. If you do, I'm very sorry. But either way, thank you for joining us for another night of chilling and drawing with the studio. We are a studio created for artists by artists, and in our sketch sessions, we talk about anything that crosses our mind while creating human art. I am Esso, and with me, as always, is the co creator and motivator, Miss Lily.
Hello, welcome back.
Welcome back. Tonight is a artistic free for all, pretty much where we get to draw and talk about whatever we want, whatever caught our attention from this past week. Um, for this stream, I am going to be celebrating the first week of Women's History Month. Hey, congratulations, ladies. I am going to be repurposing my Zelda sketch from um, last stream, and I'm going to be turning it into one of my favorite, what I see as a feminist icon video game character, which is Aloy from Horizon Zero Dawn, because she's like this skilled badass who doesn't pander to the male gaze and saves the world pretty much one arrow at a time, man.
Hmm.
So what are you going to be drawing today, Lily?
I am not sure. I just think I'm gonna be practicing a little bit of rendering,
All right.
some coloring today. So,
Yeah. You know,
maybe looking at a bit of League of Legends splash arts because I really like
ooh,
how they render their artwork. So,
dude, yes.
uh, maybe start on something like that.
I actually have two books. Well, no, just one from League of Legends character art because it looks so
Mhm.
fucking good, man.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I love collecting their artwork. I just love looking at their artwork. I like studios like that. Oh, and in
Mhm.
chat we got our boys Mark and Forest Hammer, man. Welcome to the stream, man. Thank you for joining us. We greatly appreciate it as always. Um, so to get a little bit of housekeeping out of the way, if you are watching the stream, be sure to join us in chat. It lets YouTube and Twitch know that you're here and counted. If you're a first time watcher on Twitch, be sure to hit that follow button. And if you're watching on YouTube, be sure to hit the like, subscribe, and bell to get notifications whenever we start our stream. Be sure to follow Miss Lily on Instagram, TikTok at Lily Lilac Draws, all one word. Her links are in the chat. And then if you want to see more art, more clips, or donate to the studio, head over to the link spree that we have in chat as well. Other than that, let me go ahead and switch over the scene here so we can start drawing. Um, okay, we're up and running. Oh man, all right. So we have a ton of topics today. A lot happened in the last week. Um, Besides essentially getting into a war, there was some other things that happened that were a little bit more entertaining than the usual. um, Actually, do you want to start off with the first topic that you have on hand? Because I saw this in the beginning of the week and it really kind of took me back.
Which one?
The
To pay
Kyoto
my respects?
Animations president.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So this was probably, I think, yeah, it was Monday. It was announced that the president and co-founder of Kyoto Animation Studio, Hideki Hata, has died. He's passed
Mm-hmm.
away at 76. He co-founded the studio with his wife, Yoko Hata, which I
That's
didn't
awesome.
know,
Yeah, I
which
didn't
is
know
really
that either.
cool. Yeah, and if you guys don't know what that studio is, here, let me name some of their projects. I'm a real sucker for slice of life animes.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
think that's how I found them at first. What they're popular, I think their most popular that everyone has heard of now is Free, which is the swimming anime. That one's pretty fan servicey.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
familiar.
but a few other ones that are pretty popular that you've probably heard of is the I don't know how to say this word properly. Melancholy. The
Oh
Melancholy of
yes.
Haruhi Suzumiya.
Yeah, yeah.
Miss
That one's pretty much
Kobayashi's
a fever
Dragon
dream.
Maid. Apparently they did Clannad as well,
Mm-hmm.
which I haven't watched. Violet Evergarden is a most recent one that
Right.
was on Netflix. Um, which one else?
Are they the same studio that does K-On as well?
Yeah,
Yeah. Yep.
K-On! They did A Silent Voice. That one's a great
Ah,
movie.
that one's a
Highly
great movie.
recommend it. Yeah. Um, I know them from Hyoka, which is a slice of life anime.
Mm-hmm.
It takes place in high school, and it's a mystery anime, not like suspense horror mystery, but more
Mm-hmm.
like um, daily life mystery. And it, I really recommend it if you like that sort of thing and slice of life. And yeah, I don't know, even like I really like romance.
Mm-hmm.
So just or like even teased romance, so seeing the main characters like l- begin to like each other
Slowly
even
fall
though
in
they
love. Yeah.
yeah, even though they don't ever confess to each other, which always makes me mad.
And they
I
barely hold
still like
hands.
yeah, I like I like watching those types because it gives me like, this warm fuzzy feeling
Yeah.
inside.
Yeah.
Um,
I
which
like I
one's another?
like stories like that too. I think the one that you mentioned, which is Silent Voice, is
Mm,
one of the first. I don't know. A Silent Voice is kind of a slice of life anime or movie, right? Or drama movie, I guess you would say.
yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, that one, and the melancholy of Hazuka. Is that how you spell it? Pronounce it?
Haruhi.
Oh, sorry.
Haruhi?
Yeah, yeah. That was the first time I was ever really exposed to. Um, I was ever really exposed to um,
Slice of life?
Kyoto animation actually.
Oh. Mm.
Because I was attracted to it because of the premise of her being a god and having control over these poor students' lives the way that she does. And then
Mm-hmm.
I remember watching it and just thinking that I was watching a fever dream the entire time.
Yeah, I don't remember much of Haruhi Suzumiya,
Oh,
but
dude, that thing will
I
freaking melt your
yeah,
brain if you watch it consecutively.
I'll have to look back at it because it is a staple of anime
Mm-hmm.
um media, I think. Like it's something that everyone has run across at one point or another,
Yeah.
if not for just that dance scene where they're
Mm-hmm.
dancing to the cute little song.
Yeah.
Um but yeah, I highly recommend this studio. They're just really good at animating um slice of life material. Like most of the time when you're watching a lot of slice of lives, there's not a lot of action, there's not a lot of stuff going on screen.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not very intense in the animation, but I like to say that Kyoto Animation is the Studio Ghibli of anime studios. Like they just treat everything with this um how do I explain it? Like they draw everything beautifully. Like they give life a beautiful filter, and I feel like it makes you appreciate life a little bit more. Um,
Mm-hmm.
because they perceive and show life in this different lens. Like everything's got this glittery filter to it, and
Yeah,
everything's just animated so beautifully, like how Studio Ghibli does it. And
exactly.
yeah, I just can't speak enough words. Like this is one of my favorite studios, if not my most favorite animation studio of any animation studio out there.
Yeah, they really do make I agree where they make the quiet parts of life look beautiful, and I think that
Hmm.
that's the real attraction for me to a lot of those properties as well. But it's sad that that he passed away. But at
Yeah.
76, man, that's a good long
Hmm.
life. I mean, all the praise to him, man. And of course, best wishes for his wife. She's still alive, yes?
Yeah, they haven't said that she's passed.
Mm-hmm.
At least I didn't read that far, but I think that's really awesome that they even did something like that together.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that's such a cool tidbit that I didn't know.
Let's see here. As far as what else has happened in the past week, let's see. Do you want to? Oh man, there's some pretty big topics here, but do you want to tackle? It's because we've talked about Paramount a number of times. Do you want to tackle that one next?
Yeah, I could do a small update. So, they did a recent update with the Paramount bid. They ended up winning and they're slated to merge. The bid was $100 billion.
Jesus, man.
That's the actual number. Not even joking.
And
Um,
never mind, we live in a society that could use like student loan forgiveness, or kids could use some lunches, but God forbid they put 100 billion into buying a studio.
mhm.
$100 billion. That's insane.
Yeah, I don't even know if that includes the payout for like the Netflix termination
Yeah, yeah.
or even paying for not Paramount's, for Warner Brothers's debt. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not sure if that even includes that.
Oh God,
Um,
so it could be even higher.
yeah, it could be even higher. That could be the number, but that's already a big enough number. So that's how much the bid ended at.
Uh-huh.
Um, People are worried that this could reduce content diversity since Paramount and Warner Brothers were such big owners of
Tentpole movies.
streaming services and
Yeah.
IPs. So
Mm-hmm.
if Paramount absorbs Warner Brothers, then it's basically just Paramount versus Disney versus
HBO?
Netflix,
Wait,
basically. No,
who?
HBO is actually a part of Warner
Ah,
Brothers.
fuck. Okay, never
Yeah,
mind.
so that's what they were talking about too. Like they were talking about what would happen. Like they already announced that they're going to merge Paramount Plus and HBO Max
Uh-huh.
together. They just don't know how and they don't know how much um the streaming service costs would be.
Yeah.
Just because they're going to come together, like
Mm-hmm.
whether you like it or not, I guess. I think that's how
I
they were
mean,
making it
the
sound.
the exact same thing happened between Hulu and Disney Plus, and the price of Disney Plus ended up going up whenever they absorbed Hulu. So I can
Yeah.
only assume if Paramount Plus does end up absorbing HBO Max, I think it's called now. Yeah, it's gonna cause the price to go up, and it
Hmm.
really sucks because it looks as if they recently released the Lanterns trailer this past week, and it looked really interesting. And now I gotta worry about whether or not HBO Max is gonna be around long enough to watch it. Let's see.
I don't think they mentioned that they're going to be cutting anything.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's
Um,
good.
They
Hopefully.
just a lot of people have speculated though that um the merge will cause great debt for Paramount because of how much the bid was and how much they're offering to pay for Warner Brothers debt. This could lead to large layoffs and salary cuts for um employees.
Mm.
And I don't think they're gonna cut um what's the word? Local
Local?
IPs?
Yeah. Like local.
American IPs?
Oh, I see
Typic
what you mean.
basically.
Okay.
Um people are just saying it could reduce investment in foreign IPs. Like, I think there's some streaming services that they have specifically for Europe
Mm-hmm.
or something like that that I was reading that they could cut because those aren't obviously maybe not as high paying as their
Right. Right.
um like their Paramount Plus and their HBO Max, stuff like that. Um
Oh man. Yeah.
And then also the
Mhm.
fact that Paramount's current CEO is heavily tied with the current administration, and they've already
Yeah.
exhibited some politically driven censorship
Yeah.
with which show was it? Was it the Colbert
Um,
Show or
it was the Late Show, but yeah, Stephen
yeah.
Colbert hosts it. Yeah.
Yeah, so since that's already happened, thinking that more of their properties could have more politically driven censorship.
So we could see the Daily Show go goodbye, and pretty much anybody who pisses Trump off while he's watching late night TV. Oh no, not good. I don't look forward to what's gonna happen. Hopefully they keep HBO and Paramount Plus a separate entity. Um, Mark, it's like Mark said, he's gonna be upset if they raise the price of HBO Max because he uses it to watch AEW. So I mean, I use HBO Max to watch a number of DC properties on there, and yeah, if they have to merge it or if they end up completely getting rid of it, which HBO Max has always been on shaky ground out of all the times, the WB has switched hands and switched ownership. So I don't know. I don't have very high hopes for HBO Max, and I don't know. I hope it survives. I hope it survives the merger, but you know, it's all up in the air. We'll see what happens. But Skydance Paramount Plus doesn't give me a lot of hope. That's for sure.
But yeah, that's the latest update for the bid that's
All
been
right.
going on for a good while.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on that and see what happens. Because a lot can happen in the meantime. That's for sure.
Mhm.
Um, let's see here. I think the only other thing that I saw entertainment wise, um, in kind of related to what's happening in movie studios, is that Sony, wait, it's not Sony Entertainment because that's the gaming company. It would be Sony Studios, Sony Movies. I don't know. Either way, all I know is I've been hearing rumors that Sony plans on rebooting their live action Spider Man universe with a whole new
Hmm.
cast. So, everything that you know of from the Venom movies to Morbius, sorry,
Oh,
to, yeah, oh, Sony Pictures. That's right,
Madam
Mark.
Web or
Yeah,
whatever.
Madam Web, Craven the Hunter. They're going to be rebooting all of that with brand new actors. Of course, like the open secret is that the main reason why they're doing this is so that way they can hold on to the Spider-Man IP. Because if they don't create a movie every 5 years, then the Spider-Man IP goes back to Marvel, and that's
Really?
yeah, it's kind of their
Huh.
cash cow. They don't want that. They don't want that to happen. So Sony, this is why Sony always throws in or spits out a Spider-Man related or a Spider-Man movie or a Spider-Man related movie every 5 years, whether it's good or not. So Expect to see that soon, folks. Not too happy about that one either. Because
I
if
don't
anybody
think it's
knows,
the.
uh huh.
What were you saying?
Oh no, I was just gonna proclaim my hatred for all those Spider Verse movies. But what were you gonna say?
I don't think it's necessarily the actor's problem,
No,
except
no.
for the actress that they picked for Madam Web. She's actually genuinely really bad. But
She
everyone
is.
else, I don't think it's them that's the problem.
No,
I
I don't
think
think
it's
so
the
either.
directors, and
Yeah, I think
like the
it was
directors
a
are just
studio
not
problem.
good.
Yeah, I think it
Yeah.
was a studio problem from the get go. I
Mhm.
think it was a situation where Sony, just trying to hold on to the IP, would greenlight a movie, whether it was going to be a major hit. I mean, obviously, they're not looking to lose money on this. They do want to make money on these movies, and so they kept giving us the most cookie cutter, um, unrelated to Spider-Man movies known to man. And some of them, were fairly successful, like with the Venom movie, but the majority of them lost them money because, I mean, other
Mhm.
than wanting to see Morbin time, to wanting to see Jared Leto say it's Morbin time on Morbius. Yeah, none of the other ones had any kind of traction whatsoever, and Madam Web just became a laughing, pretty much a lolcow, in the movie industry. So,
I heard it was really bad.
oh, super bad, super bad. I made the
I
mistake of
haven't
watching
watched
it.
any of yeah, I haven't watched any of those movies. I haven't watched the Venom movies.
You're so
I haven't
lucky.
watched Yeah, because I just, I'd rather watch the review, which is what I
Yeah,
did.
yeah.
Um, and I was like, yeah, I'm glad I didn't watch this movie because I would have been sitting there the whole time like, what the heck am I watching? Like,
A
this is so bad.
a good majority of the time whenever I would watch these movies, it wouldn't I think the only movies that I saw in theaters were the Venom movies. And then I think like Venom 3, I never even saw that in the movies. I think I saw that in streaming. Um and the main reason why I watch it is to see if they were going to find a way to eventually merge all those villains with Spider-Man at some point. I guess it
Mhm.
kind of came down to morbid curiosity, right? Because Spider-Man as a property is good, especially whenever the MCU has creative control over it, right? They make great Spider-Man movies. And I was waiting to see if they were ever going to hop these characters over to the MCU. Like, let's say if, they were going to have Venom hop over to the main MCU, which they kind of hinted at a number of times, but they never really pulled the trigger on it. And I think they never pulled the trigger on it because, Marvel doesn't want that stink on them. But yeah, outside of watching it out of morbid curiosity, I think that was about it. I didn't I didn't enjoy a good majority of them. I let's see. Yeah, I'm with Mark. I got bored with the Venom movies as well. Like, the first movie was okay. The second movie, introducing Carnage, was pretty interesting. By the third movie, I was completely checked out. And then Morbius, as campy as that movie was, I don't know. It was somewhat. I wouldn't even call it very. If you want to see something like hysterically bad, Morbius is good for that.
Really?
Especially, yeah, the main
It's that bad?
antagonist, dude. The main antagonist, he is so campy in that movie that it makes it kind of entertaining. Who plays him? It's the he played Doctor Who. And there was like a million Doctor Who's out there, and I can't remember the guy's name now.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, he played it so I think he understood what kind of movie he was in, and he played it so tongue in cheek that it just kind of makes it a little bit entertaining whenever he's on screen. And then Craven the Hunter, whenever I saw that one, um, again, the lead actor the lead actor for that one, it kind of looked as if he wanted to take it seriously. Um do you know the guy that plays ugh, crap. He man, he was actually in the actual MCU in Age of Ultron. He played the speedster. Ah, why is the name escaping me right now? Silver Silver something. It's yeah, but it was the same actor from the MCU. He goes over to Sony, goes into Craven, looks as if he's trying to play the role fairly seriously for the most part. And the movie kind of takes itself way too seriously. I mean, it introduces villains like the Rhino, you know, and you know, there's even oh man, there's they even dragged poor what's a Russell Crowe into it, from what I remember. Quicksilver, that's the name. Yeah, it's the same actor, Aaron something. Um, and yeah, man, like they have a couple of actors in there where they it looked like they were trying to give it their all, but oh my god, it was just such a horribly written movie. um Aaron Taylor Johnson, that's the one. that's that's the main protagonist. Yeah, he even got like super into shape for this movie, man. It looked like he was ready to roll. And yeah, man, the movie took itself way too serious. It's essentially like I would compare it to like a Mission Impossible kind of a tone to it, with the
Mm.
action style and the stunts and everything. And
Oh.
it's just written horribly. Not to say that the actors, they didn't act in it horribly. It was just written horribly. It was a pretty generic cookie cutter action movie with some violence in it. And then oh god, I don't even want to go into Madam Web. That one was just all kinds of weird, left and right. So I don't recommend any of them, which is why
I
I'm
just don't
also
like that actress. Like, she's not very good.
isn't she
She's
somebody's like isn't she a nepo baby? Isn't she some
yeah,
a
she's a
famous
nepo
actress?
baby.
Yeah, she's like a
Yeah.
famous
Who's really
actress's
bad at
at her
like
trade.
definition of nepo baby. Like right there.
Oh my
Um
god.
I don't think I've ever watched a property with her in it. What is her name? Is it like some
Um
Anna Taylor Joy or something like that?
no, it's
No, that's not Anna Taylor Joy. I'm
Dakota
so sorry.
Fanning? Dakota
No,
something?
that's not Dakota Johnson. You were
There we
close.
go.
Yeah, so she was also in 50 Shades of Grey. She was
Mhm.
terrible in that. And then she was in a recent romance
Ooh,
film. I haven't watched it. I kind of wanted to watch it because it has Pedro Pascal in it and what's his face? Chris Evans.
yeah.
They're in it too, and I love both of them and I wanted to watch
Mhm.
it because they're in it. But she's the main actor.
She ruined it
She's the
for you, huh?
protagonist, and I don't want to watch it. She's just so bad. She's
she
so
is. She is like most of the things I've seen her in, she's so forgettable that it
so
just seems
deadpan,
yeah.
kind of like she just has one facial expression and it
Mhm.
looks like she's trying to be like sarcastic,
Yeah, like too cool
you
for
know?
school, but it's like
Like that one girl who's actually has a what is it? She has a disability or something like that that makes her come across that way, but she because of like an accident or something,
what was
she
she
was
in?
in Parks and Rec.
Oh,
You know
it
who I'm talking about.
is it Audrey Plaza?
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
she
yeah.
was telling her story like
Mhm.
she actually just talks like that in real life,
Mhm.
kind of like
Aubrey.
monotone
Yeah.
and kind of comes across as sarcastic. She was explaining because she had like an accident or something, and that's what
Really?
caused her
I
to
didn't
act
know
that
that.
way. Yeah,
Huh.
but she's actually a good actor. Like
Oh
she
yeah, for
knows how to
sure. Yeah.
like go across from that. And
There.
yeah, she plays into it,
Mm-hmm.
especially in Parks and Rec, she plays into that type of character, but in a good way. Like like she
Exactly.
dials it up to 11,
She's
whereas
actually good
Dakota
at doing it.
Johnson yeah, whereas Dakota Johnson is like trying to be that
Yeah,
and
yeah,
failing
to the
really
point where it's
badly.
cringe, for sure.
Yeah. I really don't like her. Whenever I see her face, I'm just like, "Ugh."
She ruined 50 Shades of Grey for you, huh?
She ruined everything. Like, I actually did watch, like, the first 20 minutes of 50 Shades of Grey just 'cause
Uh-huh.
I was curious,
Yeah.
and I watched it, and I was just like, "I can't keep watching this. This is terrible. You're so bad at this."
Oh man, yeah. Every time I see her in something, yeah, it just feels like somebody who is is just not giving a earnest try, as if like have you ever met those kind of people where it's like they're so um they're so I guess the best way of putting it, they're kind of protected, so therefore if they fail at something, it's no big deal because they have something that they can easily fall back on, so then they end up
Basically.
only just half-assing it constantly.
That's what it feels like. That's
Yeah,
what it
that's
feels like.
exactly what
Like,
it feels
"Oh,
like.
I'm gonna make this much money from it,
Mm-hmm.
and my
Mm-hmm.
parent is already a rich actor.
Yeah, yeah, i can
Who
i
cares?
can get in
Who
this
cares?"
on
Yeah.
on name alone. Yeah.
Ugh,
Oh my god. Yeah.
do not
So
like her.
I mean, but besides her and let's see who's the other one. Bum, ba, bum, ba, bum, ba, bum, the Sweeney woman, Sweeney something Sweeney.
Oh, Sydney Sweeney.
Sydney Sweeney, yeah, she's also in
She's
that
all
movie, and then again,
yeah.
it's one of those things like she's also not a very great actress.
I heard it was really bad.
It's
She
real
okay,
bad, man.
so the way I got introduced to Sydney Sweeney was
Mm-hmm.
in Euphoria, which I highly recommend. And she's actually pretty good in it. Like
Oh,
she
okay.
I think Euphoria's director and it just all around the cast and everything about that show
That's the
is
one
really good.
with what's her name in it?
Zendaya.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Tom Holland's wife
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, they got
Yeah.
married. Congratulations.
I know, right? That's
So
awesome.
happy for them. But yeah, that show like she actually does a good job in that show.
Mm-hmm.
No complaints. She plays a pretty
It's just dumb
polarizing
now.
character who kind of becomes unhinged towards the
Yeah.
second season's ending. Which, by the way, I don't think they're continuing Euphoria because the one of the main cast members did pass away.
Oh.
Um, yeah, which is a shame because he was really young,
Mm-hmm.
but I think it was due to um, it was just unfortunate
Oh shit.
happenings.
Yeah, an
But yeah,
accidental death.
I mean, other than that, like I
Mm-hmm.
do recommend that show. If you watch it, just pay attention to Sydney Sweeney and how she acts. It's night and day. It's like, wow, you're
Really?
actually pretty decent, and that's
What the
only
hell
because
happened there?
yeah, the directors are
It's
bad.
gotta be, man. It's gotta
The
be.
directors that they're hiring at Sony, they're
Yeah.
just not very good.
Yeah. I just think they're just trying to push out whatever kind of garbage that may make them some money back. Um
Mm,
just to retain that IP, and that I think that worked for a little while because superhero
uh,
IPs were just so prominent in
mm,
the movie industry, but since they're not as popular as they used to be, I don't think Sony can rely on that model anymore. And I don't know. I mean, whatever Sony ends up creating outside of Sony Animation, right? Leave Sony Animation out of this. They're doing good.
yeah, they're doing great.
They're doing great. But yeah, as far as Sony Pictures go, yeah, they don't have a great track record um, in heralding Spider-Man. So much so that they had to hand Spider-Man over to the MCU. So I don't have high hopes. I think they should just allow the Spider-Man IP to go fully over to Marvel so they can do whatever they want with it. But I
Mhm.
mean, studios got to make money somehow, I guess.
And we know they're not making very much money because I didn't write this. I don't think I wrote this talking point down,
Mm-hmm.
but they're actually pulling. Oh, I guess I forgot to type it in because I think I wrote it in my notebook.
Uh-huh.
They're actually not going to be putting any of their Sony PlayStation exclusives
Oh, I heard
um
about that. Yeah.
games on Steam anymore. I
Yeah,
don't
they're
know about
pulling them.
existing. I don't know. Are they pulling the ones that already exist, or are they just not doing it in
They're
the
not
future?
doing
Because
it.
I,
I think it's that they're not doing it from this point forward. I think what's
yeah.
already on Steam is on there, but they've said
Hmm.
that the new Wolverine game that's coming out from Insomniac is going to be a PS5 exclusive, and then every game that comes out from what's the production or the development company for for not Squaresoft. Crud. FromSoft? No. They're the ones that
That the
created
one that does
Bloodborne.
the, yeah, that's FromSoft.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They whatever comes out from them are gonna be exclusive to the PS5 as well. So yeah, they're not.
With no PC releases, which is and they're doing that because they're not selling enough consoles,
Mm-hmm.
which I get it, but
Yep.
also I don't get it because aren't you I don't because it's like, aren't you making enough? I guess not. Aren't
Mm-hmm.
you? So my question would be, aren't you making enough money from the PC ports to at least keep something running? Like
Probably
I don't
not. I don't
understand.
know. I don't know how those license agreements are usually doled out, but they I think the problem is that they are pretty much the last standing traditional console that's going to be coming out. I mean, besides the Switch, um, that are going to be coming out in the next couple of generations, because
Mhm,
Xbox is essentially just becoming a PC, and now you have the Steam machine that's going to be coming out, which is essentially a PC as well. Um, and both of those consoles are going to be able to utilize Steam and play games from Steam. And I think Sony wants to position themselves as probably one of the last standing consoles um, that, well, or at least, I don't know what you would consider them, high end consoles. Um, because, Nintendo, of course, is always a competitor out there. But as far as the hardware inside the Switch 2, it doesn't match to the PS5 and then whatever the heck Xbox and the Steam machine are going to have in them. So I think they're trying to set themselves apart in that way. But I don't know, man. I mean, I get it. It's kind of a savvy business decision, right? Like, you don't want your games to go onto Steam and then have two other different kinds of consoles being able to play them. I mean, that pretty much kills all of your business. But on the other hand, anybody who's been playing through Steam or on a PC, yeah, you get, it kind of sucks that you get left dangling in the wind there. But
mhm.
also, Xbox is still releasing their exclusives on the PS5. So
Hmm.
I don't know how that happened. Because as far as I know, the PS5 is still getting the remastered Halo game, and they still got Gears of War. They still have what's that? Gran Turismo, I believe, is the Xbox exclusive. They're still getting those games. So it kind of looks like a business savvy decision on their behalf, but I mean, I think they're gonna get outpaced by these hybrid consoles that are gonna be coming out soon. Depending,
Mm.
right? Obviously, we're still in a world where AI is fucking up all the prices, so I don't know
Yeah.
how competitive the Xbox and the Steam machine are gonna be, depending on their price point. Because what I think, like last year, they were saying the price point was gonna be anywhere between 1,000 to $1,200 for those two systems. Um,
Oh my gosh.
if the PS5 continue to release their PS5 at their price point, which has been roughly anywhere between $500 to $700 for the pros, then they're still coming in cheaper than the hybrids. So if you're a cheaper console and you're able to play high end AAA games, yeah, that kind of sets you apart from the other two, or other
Mhm.
three at this point, Nintendo included, right? So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Like, it sucks for PC players for sure, but for console players who can't afford PC prices, this is kind of saving them.
I think though, um, with the impending rise in um chip costs
Mm-hmm.
and chip shortages because
Yeah.
of AI, I think this might be a bad move for them
Oh,
because
really?
I mean, people just can't afford um anything with a chip in it anymore because
Yeah.
of it, right?
Yeah, it's true.
So I think if you were a gamer and you had to pick a console or a PC, right?
Mm-hmm.
You'd probably, at least for me owning a PC, I would probably lean towards upgrading or just buying outright a PC.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because you can always just swap out the parts, right, if you need an upgrade, as opposed to just buying a brand new console.
It
Um,
it depends, right? Because it's
and
like,
then I would, yeah, and then I would
mm-hmm.
just to say first, I would pick a PC over a a PlayStation at that point,
Mm-hmm.
just weighing those two options.
Right.
Um, because you can play more games
You
with
can
the
definitely play
PC.
more games for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Yeah.
my only issue with PCs as of right now is price points, right? Because as
Mm-hmm.
of right now, like, let's say you have somebody who doesn't have a console and doesn't have a PC, right? If they are going to go down the PC route right now, it's going to cost them, just for a bare basic PC. I was taking a look at a couple of PCs just yesterday. You're looking at around $1,200 to $1,500 for something that's basic. It used to be like you could get a basic gaming PC for about $800, right? It's not going to be great, but
Mm-hmm.
it'll play like it'll play, Minecraft for you. You know what I mean? Um,
Mm-hmm.
so if you're looking at something that is that expensive, most console or most gamers, unless you're going to be saving up for that PC, that's kind of out of your price range, right? Consoles, on the other hand, whether it be the Switch 2 or the PS5, is only going to cost you about, I mean, for the low end one, it's going to cost you about $600, right? And the shelf life
Mm-hmm.
for both of these are going to be anywhere between 5 to 7 years, right? And maybe
Mm-hmm.
even longer, because, like I said, the PS6 and the Switch 3 is not going to be coming out anytime soon with the cost of chips the way that they are, and the cost of RAM for that matter.
That's
Um,
true.
so it you're not going to be getting as much games, like you say, for sure. And you're definitely not going to be getting like the vast library that you get through Steam, but you are going to be able to play games, some indies, mostly AAA games, right?
Mm.
So from a cost perspective, it makes a little bit more sense to go down the console route if you don't have the money up front. Now, if you can save up the money, then PC is going to be better in the long run, because you're not having to pay for, whatever you're paying for the internet, you get to use with your PC, right? And then you get this vast library of not only indie and AAA titles, but VR indie games and everything else in between. Like there's no limit to what you can game with at that point. Um,
Mhm.
but yeah, it really come it well, and then the real issue ends up becoming, so you build a, let's say if you built a PC today with, let's say, a mid-range graphics card that's going to cost you, as of right now, well above $900. um Hopefully that graphics card is going to last you for at least a good 10 plus years, right? And then in that time, you may not have to upgrade your graphics card again, or you hopefully not your RAM again for a long time. If you do have to upgrade any of those pieces, um, especially like right now, right? Those things are going to cost you about as much as buying a console. So, from a financial perspective, consoles are probably going to be a little bit of a safer bet. From a gaming perspective, PC is going to give you more variety. So, I don't know. It depends on where you are as a gamer, you know. If you're young without
Definitely.
money, yeah, if you're young without
I
money,
think
go for the
I
console.
think though, um, with the rise of chips,
Mhm.
um,
Oh,
costing more,
they're
that
definitely going to
may
make consoles more expensive.
that that may yeah, that so
Mhm.
in the event that that happens, I think.
Everyone's going to
But
have to
then
strip.
PC parts. And then
Everybody's going to
PC
have to
parts.
switch to streaming.
PC parts will also go up too. So,
Yeah. It's bad
because I
for
was gonna
gamers
say,
all around.
what if consoles just go up in price and then
Yeah. And they
they're
will.
going
They
to
most
compete in
definitely will.
price
But that
with
means PCs are going to go up in price too.
consoles? Like if consoles go up in price
Mhm.
to where they're basically the price of a PC,
Yeah.
people would just buy a PC.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
people would just buy a PC at that point. But
yeah,
that's not to
but
say if PCs aren't also going up in price at the same time,
yeah,
then it's gonna even out. And at that point, you just gotta you're at that point you're choosing whether or not you're just gonna pay more for a gaming system, or here's the other one, you just play a game through Netflix. Which is
what do you
possible
mean?
now. Did you know that?
How's that possible?
Yeah, you can play video games through Netflix. I think right now, let's see. Let me check, cuz I think right now you can play um let's see. You can play they have a number of mobile games that you can play. They got a number of
Oh
classic
yeah,
games
that's
that you can play as well. Um and they got a number of, and the way they do this is that they are let's see, they're saying that they have 120 exclusive mobile games with no ads. Um, and they are also getting into streaming old AAA games as well. So
hmm,
essentially, what you're doing is that you're getting a Bluetooth controller, you're connecting it to your TV, and through the app, you're streaming a game. Kind of like what you can do right now through the PSN network, or um, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if you can stream through the Xbox Live network. I believe you can, but I know for a fact you can do it with the PlayStation network. You don't have to own the physical game, nor do you have to download the game anymore. Now you can stream it directly through your broadband service and play the game like any other. But they're constantly giving me ads for games I can be playing through Netflix.
hmm.
But I'm assuming that that's where it could potentially be going if we end up getting priced out of um yeah, Mark says they have something through Netflix gaming. Um but that's essentially what they're going to be pushing everybody towards, it feels like. And if I'm going to be a conspiracy nut, Give me a moment to be a conspiracy nut here, just for a second. I think that they kind of want to push gamers towards this, right? We're essentially getting priced out of the hardware, right? The hardware is becoming too expensive. Unless you're going to be holding on to, playing a PS5, or unless developers are going to be developing for the PS5 hardware forever, right? Or developing for the current generation of graphics cards out there, eventually, right? The only place a gamer can go, because they've been priced out of all the hardware, all the RAM, all the graphics cards, all the CPUs, the only way you can go now is start streaming these things through services, and you only have to own the bare minimum device and a strong internet connection. The moment you can do that, then you don't even need the hardware anymore, right? But the problem with doing that is now you don't own anything, right? You're streaming everything. So you're completely at the whim of the distributor, or the distributor, as in, Netflix, companies like Netflix, right? You're at their mercy because you don't own these games anymore. So they're probably gonna hook you in through some subscription based, service where, hey, you pay a certain amount per month, and you can stream them directly online without ever having to buy the game itself. But I also think that kind of cuts the head off of developers, right? Because how do they get paid, since most games already cost in the hundreds of millions to create nowadays? But I mean, I'm pretty sure distributors don't really care too much about that. They'll just keep swallowing up studios, the way they have been. Um, but yeah, man, that really, it's kind of depressing to think about. I ain't gonna lie, not gonna lie. But yeah, yeah, yeah. That's. I can't tell whether or not the PlayStation holding on to their exclusives is a smart idea, or if it's gonna hurt them. Um, but I am kind of leaning towards this might help them in the same way that it helps Nintendo, right? Like, holding on to your IPs gives you a certain amount of power, um, but it limits the amount of choice gamers have, which sucks in the long run. So I don't know. I don't know. It's bleak. It's bleak out there, man. Let's see. What topic do you want to tackle next? Do you want to tackle what's happening with the art critique, or do you want to tackle what's happening with Manga ONE platform?
Either one is good.
Let's start. Let's start. You know what? Because I think that the critique can actually branch off to something else. Let's start with the Manga ONE platform. Um, so the Manga ONE platform is run by the company called Shogakukan. Is Shogakukan, is that a publishing company, or just the app developer, or platform developer, I guess I should say?
I'm not sure. I only know it by Manga One.
Yeah. Well, I guess that may be the company, or the parent company's name.
Hmm.
Um, but essentially, what has happened is that a number of creators are flying off of this platform that was originally housing their mangas on, because of a cover up controversy that's happening
Hmm.
there. So creators like creators like the creator for Freerin. Let's see, there was a couple of other ones, like the creators for One Punch Man. Um, the creator of Inuyasha. Um, let's see, and I believe there's a couple of more have left this
I don't
platform.
know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know if one left
Mm-hmm.
the studio, but he has made a public announcement saying
Oh,
that
okay. That he
he
expressed some
didn't
outrage about it.
condone, yeah, that type of behavior.
All right. Well, the behavior being that they were essentially covering up an alleged case of um, let's see. Let me look at the notes here. It says here that the decision comes amid controversy surrounding the platform's editorial handling of a recent case, including allegations of a cover up and the rehiring of a previously convicted individual underneath a different pen name.
Mm.
What he was convicted of was sexual assault of a minor, or sexual abuse. I'm sorry, of a minor. Um, the author's name was, let's see, um, Hajime Ichiro. Am I pronouncing that correctly? Probably not.
Well, his his actual name
Yeah.
is Shoichi Yamamoto.
Oh, okay. That's his
Um,
real name.
yeah.
All
So
right.
I'm not sure if Hajime Ichiro, because I have not seen that anywhere from what
Mm-hmm.
I've looked up. I don't know if that's another pen name he used, but so Shoichi Yamamoto, he originally published um a property with them with
Mm-hmm.
Manga ONE initially in 2020,
Yeah.
and then the sexual abuse allegations started coming out,
Mm-hmm.
and the IP that he was making, Daten Sakusen, went on hiatus.
Right.
Um, and then he came back recently, um,
Yeah, in like
2022.
2022. Yeah.
Yeah. Under the name that I found was
Ichiro? Is that the name, or was it a different one? Cuz there was another name that I saw which was
yeah,
um
there's several of them.
Kazuakai Kurita?
I think that's the pen name.
Kazuakai? That was another pen name. So this guy's been like
So I so I wrote it down because
mhm.
I have not seen Hajime Ichiro.
Okay.
Um, yeah, I saw his actual name is Shoichi Yamamoto. That's his
Okay.
actual name. Um, let's see.
I think I found the name of the manga
Moto.
itself, which was the Jou Joujin Common, I believe it is. Let me look up who is the quote unquote author of that one, and that should tell me the pen name. Let's see, the author of, well, the English name for the manga is Ordinary Person Mask. Jaujin Kamen was written by, let's see here. This was written by
It's the
uh,
yeah.
they have the author for that book underneath the Ichiro pen name, Hajime.
Hmm.
I'm looking through Ami Ami for this, so that may not be. I don't know if that's a good source.
Okay, yeah, Hajime Ichiro was the pen name.
Was the pen name in
Yeah, the one that
2022?
I wrote in the notes. Yeah.
All right.
Yamamoto is his actual name.
Okay,
Hajime Ichiro is the one he came back with in 2022.
that makes sense.
Um, it's So the what's making this situation bad, and which is what's making a lot of these mangaka remove their properties from Manga One, is
Mm-hmm.
because the studio themselves not only knew about this guy's misdoings, they actually also helped try and cover up and what is it, settle
Mm-hmm.
the case that was happening
Yeah, essentially
between
like
this
um
guy
like
and
hush money.
the
Yeah.
victim. Like they were offering money to the victim as well to just end the case.
Mm-hmm.
The case ended in no ruling. Um, but I think he did end up getting convicted anyway. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, like people found, I don't know what people found or how they found it, but they
Right.
saw that the editor that Yamamoto was working with was talking to them through Line, which
Uh,
is a messaging app.
mm-hmm.
It's basic, it's like Messenger,
Yeah.
um, or WhatsApp, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
something like that. But yeah, that's basically what came out was that the editor knew about this guy, knew what he was doing, and also tried to help him in his case, which
Jesus,
is
man.
all kinds of wrong.
Yeah,
Like it
that's
would
all
be,
kinds of messed up.
yeah, it would be one thing for them not to know
Mm-hmm.
because, like, sometimes you don't know. But
Yeah, yeah.
uh, the fact that you go so far is to
Try to pay
also try and help.
bribe the
Yeah.
victim. Yeah. It's like, yeah, whenever I was looking into it and they were talking about the original 11 men that 11 million yen that they offered the victim, I think that only comes out to like a couple of $1,000, which is just absolutely, I don't even know how to put it. It's just morally disgusting. Um,
Mhm.
it just so your company can continue to publish this author. Um, and I completely understand why these mangakas decided to start pulling their their books from the platform because I wouldn't want to be associated. I even think in the most recent case the artist that was working on the book was also compensated because of their reputation being damaged due to what was going on. Um, but oh man, like I was reading a Google translated article from Japan on the case, and yeah, man, I don't suggest anybody look up what exactly he was doing with this minor because it's all kinds of disgusting. Um, and it wasn't just being sexually abusive, but it was straight up being like psychologically abusive to
Well, it's just all, yeah,
this poor
it was all
kid.
kinds of abuse.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was just all kinds of different abuses going on, especially being that this author was originally the victim's teacher, I believe, and
Yeah.
that's how he ended up meeting her, and it's that's horrific.
Mhm.
But I mean, good on these creators for jumping ship and condemning the hell out of this person and the editor, which honestly the editor should be tried just as harshly as the author, in my opinion, because I mean he was essentially an enabler to the crime. Um, my God, yeah, yeah, that's brutal. But I think the part that pissed me off pretty hard was that even though his series was canceled, he essentially just got a slap on the wrist for this. I think all he really had to do was pay a fine. There was no kind of jail time for the author. Um, and I think that's something that's from what I've always heard is kind of the norm in Japan. Abusers like this really don't face too many consequences. Maybe some social condemnation, but that's about it. maybe some financial fees that they have to pay, but there's no kind of incarceration or, at the very least some sort of rehabilitation for the offender. And I don't know, that's messed up, man. why,
Mhm.
why is it more being done? I have no idea. Like
Mhm.
it makes me it makes me afraid that this is a little bit more of a social problem, as opposed to just um, uh, a single event. You know what I mean? And
Mhm.
yeah, yeah, and the whole situation just kind of yeah, yeah, it makes you, it gives you the ick, man. Makes you feel kind of dirty on the inside reading about it. Um, and this is happening so often lately.
Mhm.
No, I mean, not other than, obviously the Epstein issues that were running across stateside, but I mean, damn, man, like you can't even, everything from social media influencers to, you can't even enjoy your Japanese comic books anymore because of this BS. I mean, what the hell are you supposed to do? Like, how are people supposed to take this? Well, I mean, how do you feel about it? Hearing about, like, because I'm pretty sure he really didn't get too harsh of a punishment um after the
Like,
discovery, correct?
I don't remember what happened to him,
Mm-hmm.
um, or even remember reading it. It's just the fallout for the studio itself.
Right.
Um, which I'm going to add that the studio was found out later after this one to have also rehired another person that they knew had another, they were also alleged to have abused a middle school aged girl.
Holy crap! So there was
Um
another
they
author
hired,
doing this.
yeah,
Fuck
they
me,
discovered this in
man.
the same week.
Yeah.
And they also knew that this person had those allegations against them and they
Covered
rehired
up
them
still.
under
Oh
a
god.
different pen name. I don't know if they tried to also help this person, but I mean, seeing the track record, it wouldn't be surprising. But yeah, this isn't just a one-off thing. Who knows how many other people
Mm-hmm.
they've hired as well.
Oh my god.
But yeah, I think, I don't know. Like, yeah, I would hope that the justice system over there would carry out justice.
Well,
Um,
I was just looking
but
that up. Um, from what I found is that in 2020, he got a criminal penalty of 300,000 yen for violating the Child Prostitution and Pornography Prohibition Act, because apparently he had a lot of CSAM on him as well. Um, and then this year, he got hit with a civil lawsuit, in which they ordered him to pay 11 million yen, which is about $73,000 in damages to the victim. Um, let's see, uh, for let's see, damages for the sexual abuse, which included grooming, abuse of his superior position, and leading the victim to developing PTSD. So yeah, no kind of incarceration time. Like he's still walking around in society without any kind of real repercussion. Like there should be repercussion for this type of thing. there, I mean, having to pay money, sure, that's gonna hurt him to a degree, but as we can see, certain publishers are willing to pick him up just because they think he's a good writer, right? So it's like, where's the where's the lesson learned here? There doesn't seem to be one.
well, yeah, there's the fault of the justice system, right? But
Yeah.
the main point being is that this studio still chose to hire them,
Yeah.
even knowing and helping them. Like that's where due diligence could have been done,
Yeah.
was them just being like, we don't care how good of a writer you are. We don't care if we have to make quota in
Mm-hmm.
publishing um stories to publish on our platform to meet, a publishing quota every week, because
Mm-hmm.
sometimes they have to publish these um manga strips every week or
Yeah.
once a month, or they have a quota to hit, I
Mm-hmm.
think, as editors and stuff like that, as people in the entertainment industry. But it's really up to them to draw the line, even if they have to make their quota, even if they have to make their money.
Mm-hmm.
They should be the ones. If the justice system isn't going to do what it needs to do, which it should be doing, it's up to them to draw the line. Just be like, we don't care how good of a writer you are.
Yeah.
You're a piece of human trash who did this
Exactly.
to a child,
Yeah.
and
Yeah. I mean,
yeah,
I
like
think
we're not gonna
yeah.
publish you.
I'm glad that the different authors have jumped ship from the platform. That's gonna hurt their wallet, right? And they need to feel this pain. And it also comes down to the readers, right? If you know that your favorite manga is being platformed by this company, you may just, for the sake of hurting them in their wallets, you may just have to drop the series, and I don't know. It really comes down to society's reaction to the platform, the company, since it doesn't seem as if the company's facing any kind of legal actions, or at least none that I've seen recently. Have you seen any kind of legal repercussions that the company's being hit with?
Um, no, I haven't been able to do much research past that point, but I think just these high profile mangakas pulling their IPs is going to be a good enough reason for them to do something.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I mean, if the justice system isn't punishing the guy themselves, I don't know if they would fall under any type of fire for doing what they did.
Yeah.
Um, but I think that's what I was saying. Like, it's up to these individuals to draw the line, and that's what these high profile mangakas are doing by
Mm-hmm.
saying, like, no, we don't condone this type of behavior. That's why we want to pull our properties. Because at the end of the day, that's also affecting their wallet by
Yeah.
doing that sort of thing, because
True.
they have to go find another publisher to help publish their manga, put it online, put it wherever.
Mm-hmm.
Um without eyes seeing their stuff with one more platform that loses them money. They're risking their own pocket to do this sort of thing,
True.
but they're doing it just because, no, you guys shouldn't have done this to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
You guys should have put your foot down first. So now we're going to do it for you by punishing you by pulling our properties off of your website now, or
Right.
your studio. So
Yeah. Yeah.
like you said, the creator of Freerin has pulled their property from the studio.
Mm-hmm.
They're really big right now, especially with the anime. Um, I don't know if it's still going, but it recently just released, so it's pretty big. So
Yeah.
that's a big
Oh, for
one.
sure.
Um, I don't know if the creator of One Punch Man has done it yet. I just know that he has publicly announced that he really didn't like that sort of behavior from this studio.
Right.
Um, yeah, like you said, the creator of Inuyasha and Ranma One Half did the same by pulling their property as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I think more are coming as well. Those are just the bigger ones.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, that's already a big hit.
So I was just looking it up. According to the Japan Times, the publishing company is establishing a third-party committee to investigate the company's decision to publish the works by the two manga authors, despite knowing their past sex crimes. So
Mm.
it looks like they're having a third-party committee, but no kind of legal ramifications from any local or federal government. But yeah, yeah, that's it. That hopefully they're able to weed out the editors that hired on these authors. And I mean, bad form, guys. Just just bad form. I mean, especially knowing the issues that were or the accusations that were going on. The fact that
Mm-hmm.
they rehired these authors and covering for them is just that's BS. And I hope the publishing company gets what's coming to them for it, or at the
Mm-hmm.
very least they can weed out all these bad editors. But that's brutal.
Yeah.
But definitely good on them, good on the authors. Like I said, for jumping ship.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably the the not only is it the best route for themselves, so that way they don't get hit by strays. But I mean that's good form of protest, right? Pull the money from the company.
Yeah.
But speaking of manga authors and artists, um, you have a topic about a controversy that is going on online. What was that about?
It was just something I've come across once
Mm-hmm.
or twice, and um, I didn't really see it much more, probably because I don't really watch One Piece. But
Mm-hmm.
so these two videos that I saw, there's a trend of people picking on the One Piece mangaka for their art style
Mm-hmm.
and their lack of skill. So
Right.
in this one particular reel that I was watching, it had like the the three top show shonen is it shonen artists
Yeah.
drawing in real time against each other. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know about against. I think that's the wrong terminology. They were just doing like these little
Just comparing
fan
them.
art pieces. Yeah, not
Yeah.
really comparing. They were just drawing side by side each other their respective pieces. So it was Oda from One Piece,
Mm-hmm.
Kishimoto for Naruto, and Kubo for Bleach. Um, and the person, this influencer or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
was put their the shots of them drawing side by side. Um, and the guy that's doing this reel, he's criticizing them and says that Kubo, the artist for Bleach, and we all know this guy's art style, it's amazing.
Yeah. Very
He's the
distinct.
best. Yeah, he's the best for not even sketching with pencil. Because Oda and Kishimoto are sketching their characters first with
Mm-hmm.
pencil, but he says, "Oh, look at Kubo, he's locked in. Like he
Ah,
just goes
God.
straight for the Sharpie and
Mm-hmm.
he's just drawing his characters in such in with
Yeah.
such skill." Um and he even says that Oda's taking it the easy route by putting less detail in his drawing
Mm-hmm.
and putting it in such an easy composition, which by the way, it's just a quick drawing, like a headshot,
Mm-hmm.
something like I'm doing right now
Yeah.
in just marker, just Sharpie.
Mm-hmm.
And what if you couldn't tell it, that kind of makes me mad because I'm like, I don't like Oda's art style. I don't like One Piece
Mm-hmm.
because of the art style. Um but I don't think it's because he lacks skill. I mean, that's debatable
Mm-hmm.
with the way that he draws his women.
Right.
Um, they're all pretty cookie cutter to me.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
they
in
are.
that way you could
Yeah.
yeah, in that way you could argue that lacks skill.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but his male characters, for the most part, like most of them, have different body,
Super
um,
variation.
yeah,
Yeah.
very, very stylized, just fun. It's a fun art style. I don't
Mm-hmm.
think that lacks skill in that sense. It's just a different art style.
Yeah.
And um what made me angry about the reel was because they were drawing in real time. Like they were
Mm-hmm.
being filmed. Like we are right now. We're live streaming.
Yeah.
And I
But
don't
for
think
them, it
it's
looked
fair
like
to
it was
even
like a convention setting, huh?
something like that, but
Yeah.
even still, like
Mm-hmm.
they're drawing like in person.
Yeah.
Um, I don't think it's fair to critique someone when they're drawing in real time in person
Mm-hmm.
because people, artists like me, can have performance anxiety.
Oh,
Like, what
same.
if Oda
Yeah.
just can't draw?
Man, what
You
what
know,
if he can't draw
like
away from his desk, man? It happens
he's
to all
just
of us.
nervous.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe he's having a rough day, or
Uh-huh.
maybe he can only draw in certain environments. Like
Yeah.
we like to draw in our little holes at our
Mm-hmm.
desk. You know,
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
think it's fair to have compared them in skill because skill is subjective. It's really style that he's um critiquing,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what makes me mad because what people do, especially now that a lot of anime is being popularized and
Mm-hmm.
people are enjoying it, that's great. I think people are just confusing different art style with skill. Like
Oh,
they're
for sure.
confusing those things.
Mm-hmm.
And because Kubo, the creator of Bleach, his art style is maybe more visually appealing. Oh, he must have way more skill than this guy who draws these very stylized,
Right.
cartoony, almost more cartoony looking, bubbly looking characters.
Mm-hmm.
He must lack skill because he draws this way.
Yeah,
And
no, go ahead.
mhm. um, just to end it off, yeah, like the
Mm-hmm.
whole thing just was really infuriating because it's like you don't know how to critique at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
Like, uh, first of all, these people didn't ask for that. They didn't ask for your critique. And I'd like to see you draw. I'd like to see you
Right.
try and draw anything like Oda does, first of
Uh-huh.
all. So,
Yeah, I came to a lot of the same conclusion. Like, the first thing that I noticed, because I had seen a couple of these videos, um, I think I saw one or two videos, but it was like a person reacting to a person reacting to another person. But you can tell whoever the influencer was is artistically illiterate, right? They have
mm,
no idea what goes into, composition or drawing a figure or a character or anything to that degree. To them, it's all about what style they enjoy best, right? So I think it's
mm,
pretty safe to kind of like throw their critique and opinion out the window. um Whenever I saw the video, it's like you said, it looked like the three artists were in some sort of convention setting where they were doing like some sort of commission piece where they were, because at the end of their drawings they sign their name and they sign it off to whoever was buying it, I guess. So obviously right off the bat, you've got three artists who are drawing in front of more than likely a crowd of people. That's not the best setting for art. Number one. I know I hate it whenever someone's looking over my shoulder while I draw, which is odd to
mhm,
say because I stream my drawings now, but I try not
mhm,
to think about that. But the um the differences between art, right? That the reason I say that this person is artistically illiterate is the way that they're like, oh, Kubo locks in and goes straight to ink. Is like, well, bro, like come on, man. Like, this guy has probably drawn these Bleach characters, I don't know how many times. He probably has one specific pose that he likes to draw the character in. It's not like, because in the drawing itself, it's just kind of like a quarter view of Ichigo, right? Which he probably has drawn that a billion and one times, and he probably can go straight to marker and start drawing this
Mm-hmm.
character. Um, the fact that Oda and Kishimoto have to draw pencil compositions first doesn't mean that they lack in skill. Like, right, an artist able to go straight into inking or needing to establish um, some sort of composition or structure first isn't a indication of skill. It's just an
Mm-hmm.
indication of the comfort that the artist has with whatever they're drawing, right?
Yeah.
Um, if so I don't think I think it's unfair to criticize the styles between them, because all three of them have three different styles. So you
Mm-hmm.
can't criticize that. Um, Whenever it comes to, like, well, Oda's depiction of Luffy is so simplistic. Whenever we start critiquing, like, um, artistic process, then my artist hat, I put on my artist hat, and that is something I did notice in Oda's compared to Kubo's and Kishimoto's, right? Where Oda is a lot more simplistic in his rendering of Luffy. A lot more. Whenever I was noticing as he was drawing, if I were to give my personal take on it, right, it does look as if, as far as like the whenever you start off as an artist and you start off with a specific character of drawing, a lot of the times your initial drawing is a little bit um, or it's a little less refined in the beginning, and then as you continue to draw the character, the way you draw the character becomes more and more refined, right? You end up being able to put more details in the character that never existed in the beginnings of you kind of developing this character. And with Kubo's and Kishimoto's character, I noticed that, right? Like, whenever I was watching their drawing videos, I noticed that their rendering of their characters seemed a lot more refined compared to Oda's, right? And if I were to
Mm-hmm.
criticize between the three, right, if I were to give my own personal artistic critique, I would probably say that those the first Kishimoto's and Kubo's renderings of their characters are a little bit more evolved than Oda's, right? And maybe Oda's rendering of Luffy is a little bit more simplistic because he's drawing a shorthand version of it, right? There could be a million reasons why it's more simplistic, right? It could be a shorthand version of Luffy, so that way he can draw the character really quick at conventions and get out the commissions as fast as possible. It could be that, you know, it could be that he has more of a um, he's a bit he to him efficiency trumps getting the character drawn perfectly, right? A lot of artists do
Mm-hmm.
that, especially at conventions. They're trying to, get these drawings out as fast as possible. Another thing came to mind whenever I was thinking about this this subject, and it was kind of I would call it kind of a hot take on my part. The other thing that came to mind is that Oda, being the most famous of the three, right? I mean, it just recently, One Piece just got through selling its 600 millionth copy worldwide, and it has outsold Superman, right? He even did this cool little thing where he wrote down for the first time the secret of the One Piece on a piece of paper, and he's locked it away in kind of like a capsule. And he had, I think they released the video on March 4th, but he did this on February 8th, and he threw the secret into the sea in an undisclosed location. So quite literally, the One Piece secret is out there. If any super fans are looking to find it, right? But also because since he has such a famous manga, that also means, or I looked it up, on average he has somewhere between 6 to 10 assistants, right? And as we know, mangaka assistants take care of details and backgrounds and shading. So it could be that Oda is probably a little bit used to having his assistants going into more detail, right? Like, he's the author. He probably sets up all the compositions. He probably sets up character positions and the action and the story pacing. But his assistants probably take care of the rest. So his need to always draw a more and more detailed version of Luffy isn't needed, really. And that, as an artist, right, I'm trying to put myself in Oda's shoes here. As an artist, if I'm constantly not having to draw the detailed versions of a character, then eventually my rendering of that character will suffer, right? Just like with anything, if you don't practice, or if you don't constantly discipline yourself in a skill, eventually you end up, losing it. Another artist came to mind about this was Frank Miller. He was another artist in the 80s, very sought after because his renderings of characters were very good back then. And then as time went on, he became more of a writer than an artist, and he would only do like covers instead of like interior art, right? And if you look at his artwork now, it's rough to look at, right? Compared to what he used to do. And maybe Oda suffers from the same thing in a way, right? Like, God knows if I had 6 to 10 assistants, eventually I would become rusty as well. He's still a great author for sure, but maybe his renderings aren't going to be as good as his contemporaries, and that could possibly happen. But then again, like my whole view on assistants, man, I just, is it bad to say that I hate the assistants culture in manga? I really don't like it. Not because it's like, well, I don't know. It rubs something inside of me the wrong way as an artist, right? The idea that you have this group of people that help you that much within artwork, or within your IP, essentially. And then it's like, they don't get credited, right? They're never credited in the books. They get paid like bare minimum wage a good majority of the time. And it's like a lot of them don't even move on to become mangakas themselves, right? It is kind of like an apprenticeship kind of a situation where it's like you're working underneath an author, and then like eventually you can work your way up to releasing your own property at some point. But a lot of them sometimes don't reach that level. Like I think as soon as you become like second assistant, like they consider that as being like you're about to graduate from like this apprenticeship. Um,
Mm,
but it's brutal that they don't get credit for the work, and they don't get paid much either.
mhm,
Like I yeah, I really because whenever you look at Western comics, the color artist gets credited in the book. The inker, if there is one, gets credited in the book, and the author gets credited, right? So everybody has their role, everybody has their credit, and everybody, for the most part, gets paid for what they do. Although technically, here in the United States, one of the things that I hate as well is that they don't get paid enough either. Um,
mhm.
but yeah, the the assistant. I really hate the assistance program. It just kind of rubs me the wrong way as an artist that thinks that every artist should be properly compensated.
Mm. I
But
mean,
I don't know. What do
the
you think?
the entertainment industry in Japan is just really messed up in
Yeah.
terms of like manga production and anime production. Like the animators and all those people who work on animes, like they're severely underpaid as well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, which is why I ported Crunchyroll for a time being because
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
promised to pay, to pay the studios well, for their properties, this, that, to
Mm-hmm.
help uh stop that stigma of just underpaying the people who work on those productions.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still a problem, and I
Yeah.
think it's just because the expectation for how fast these properties should be produced.
Yeah. The
Like,
weekly
especially for
schedules.
manga. Like,
Yeah.
it should be, yeah, they want those things popped out weekly, monthly.
That's
Like, that's
insane.
crazy. And
Yeah.
that's why I understand why they need the helpers because of that
Mm-hmm.
expected turnout. But, you know, that doesn't give you a pass to pay them less.
Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
why they do it. It's because they want to make money. But oh my gosh, like that's a person. Like
Yeah.
that's a person who's working on, something that you work on too.
Yeah, and that they mostly get all the credit for.
Yeah,
Like like
like
you never hear
doing
about
more work.
his assistants or any mangaka's assistants, unless they mention them in the margins of the manga.
Hmm.
And just as an art, like, I don't know. But then of course, whenever it comes to the Japanese work environment, um, and the culture of being an apprentice. Obviously it's way different from here in the West, but even still, like you still have to be able to say like, hey man, like these guys are doing extreme heavy lifting over here and they're not getting well compensated, or the animators for that matter, right? Like these guys are doing extreme heavy lifting in here and they're getting shit compensated, even though, like, I would argue that manga and anime in Japan is probably one of their biggest exports. I mean, shit,
Hmm.
a lot of these animation studios and manga publishing companies are global at this point, and it's like, and they're still not taking care of their people, and that's messed up. That's messed up from an artistic point of view. Like, all artists should be properly compensated. Like,
Yeah,
imagine. Oh no, go ahead.
I mean that just comes down to morals and ethics again. Like
Yeah,
it's really up
yeah.
to those studios to say, "Hey, we should really stop this.
Mm-hmm.
They do deserve to earn more money."
Yeah.
And we need to show our appreciation, so let's pay them more, and
Mm-hmm.
it really is up to them to stop being greedy. Because yeah, that's the key word here, is
Yeah.
just
They're
them
just
being greedy.
Yeah, yeah. This seems as if there is a hierarchy that really puts these lower level artists at at an extreme disadvantage, and the system doesn't allow them to fight for themselves, you know, and
Mhm.
that really sucks, man. That really sucks, and it's I don't know. I don't, like I complain about this, you know. This is kind of a little rant of mine, but at the end of the day, there is no way to fix a work culture that isn't part of your own national or your own culture, right? The Western culture,
Mhm.
it's completely different, and we haven't even fully fixed it on our behalf either, because you
Mhm.
know comic book artists here aren't exactly they're not compensated in the best ways. A good majority of them, unless you're an independent creator, if you work for the big three, which is, you know, Marvel, DC, and Image, which Image is a little bit better because you can own IP unless you're working for somebody, right? But they don't pay that great. Maybe just a little bit above minimum wage here in the states, and as we all know, the cost of living in this country is high.
Mhm.
But you know, it's like, and it's the same in Japan. You know, some of the best um, intellectual properties, best entertainment comes out of the comic book world, right? Um, Everything from Western movies to Eastern animations, right? These are all coming from these comic book creators, and they're just it seems as if they're a lot of them, especially the working horses of these publishing companies just kind of get shafted. I mean, I don't know how many comic book creators and writers and artists feel as if they get shafted whenever the character that they created gets a big movie and they get no or hardly any compensation out of it. Like that
Mhm.
sucks, man. Like I think recently I came across an author, or was it an author or maybe an artist, um for Spider Gwen. He helped in creating Gwen, and he was kind of lamenting on the fact that she's now getting, you know, TV shows and movies, and he's just kind of not getting anything for it. You know,
Mhm.
of course, that's kind of like the contract that he signed up for. You know, he kind of knew he was a work for hire kind of a guy, um, kind of an artist and creator. But I mean, shit, man. Imagine
Mhm.
seeing something that you created on the big screen and you're just like, I did that and nobody knows.
And my
Fuck.
wallet doesn't either.
Exactly.
You know, you at least didn't even get compensated for it. Like,
That sucks, man.
mhm.
That's a brutal reality to be in. I'm pretty sure like there's something there, right? There's not like complete it's I doubt that it's like one of those situations where like they're completely shafted. But I mean, if something becomes a multi-million-dollar property and you're walking away with a couple of $1,000s, you can't help but to feel all kinds of you can't help but to feel a certain way about it, you know.
Mhm.
And I don't know. But then, of course, to go back to Oda's rendering style, that's just a theory of mine. I don't know whether or not, you know, it's like you said, he could just be having performance anxiety at this while creating this commission. Or God knows if I was drawing at a table and somebody was sitting there filming me, I'd be like, ah, fuck. Like, I've known I've drawn this character a million times, but Jesus Christ, please don't.
Yeah. And I don't
Hey,
know. I think
yeah,
it's that yeah, they're drawing it really fast, and also because Luffy's just a more simpler character to draw than Naruto or Ichigo. Like
yeah, yeah.
I personally think that. And
Yeah, for
I think
sure.
I'm just thinking that too because I just really didn't like how that guy was harping on him.
Oh yeah, yeah. It seems as if that
Why are
guy's
you doing that?
completely artistically illiterate. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, the idea that you think that just cuz an artist can go straight to ink, that somehow they're better is so dumb.
Mm-hmm.
That has more to do with repetition than it does with the artistic skill of a or the skill of an artist. I mean, come on, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like if somebody judged me based off of how slow that I created art, then you know, underneath that logic, I'm a terrible artist, you know? It's like, no, I'm just slow, okay? I'm just not a very fast artist, all right? And, you know, it could be the exact same thing with Oda, you know? It's more of a it's more of a simplistic character, and it's
Mm-hmm.
not going to require him to have that much detail, you know?
Mm-hmm.
The his style is way different from the other two. So, you know, let him live his creativity, man. Cuz as far as creatively speaking, I would put Oda above the other two.
Mm-hmm.
Cuz I mean, the characters this guy creates is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Which I'm super excited for the Netflix live action One Piece that's going to be coming out, I believe, sometime this month. Am I wrong
No,
there?
really? Wow.
Yeah, I believe season two is going to be coming out very soon. Um, Let me see here. Let's see. I believe that bad boy is coming out on. Oh man, this comes out March 10th. Literally on Tuesday of next week.
Hmm.
Have you had a chance to watch it yet?
No. I
Okay.
I think I'm just too far gone. I don't really wanna I'm not really that interested in watching One Piece.
No, yeah. I mean, I wasn't either. It's I think I would never be able to watch the original anime. There's no way, man. Um
Mm-hmm.
I think that it's way too way too many episodes. I didn't grow up with it, or I didn't watch it growing up. If I had watched it growing up, it'd be a little bit different because I'd be more caught up. But the condensed version that we're getting out of the Netflix live action is very entertaining, and
Hmm.
I don't know if it carries the, you know, and I'm talking about this as a you know, I'm not an original fan of the anime. You know, I've never read the manga, so I'm coming at this as a complete noob, a complete an uncultured swine in the face of One Piece, right? Because there are absolute scholars of this franchise out there, and I'm a fledgling novice. Um, but the live action series is super entertaining, and if it carries the same if it carries the same spirit of the original anime and the manga, then yeah, I would say that the anime and manga would be extremely entertaining to read and watch if I ever decided to waste 3 years of my life. But
Mm-hmm.
um but you know, the live action series gives you like a I would assume a nice condensed version. Yeah, it's just like Twitch is saying in chat. He said that season one was epic. It was. It was good. I mean, it's what's getting me to watch season two. And it does a real good job at like translating the, because you know how cartoony One Piece is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Logically speaking, that shouldn't carry over very well to something that's live action, and it's doing a damn good job at kind of like giving us like anime like action, which is
Oh.
very rare to find. Um It's kind of did you ever get a chance to watch, well, I don't know if you ever watched this. I think you told me that you didn't. The the Alita Battle Angel, the live action movie.
No.
You never saw it. So that one is also very fun and entertaining to watch. I'm really disappointed that we never got a sequel to it,
Mm.
because that was so good. Even though it's a live action version of an anime, and I know that's sacrilege. It really is an entertaining movie, and the director Robert Rodriguez is the director. Do you? He's also done movies like he was the director of oh man, Mariachi and Desperado, and he also directed what is it, Spy Kids, if I'm not mistaken. It's the same guy. But man, I think he killed it. He absolutely killed it in that movie. I highly recommend it. I know you're not a big fan of live action anime, but I mean it was really good. Like there is a little thing where they digitally alter Alita to make her
Her
eyes
eyes
a little
bigger.
bit bigger and her head a little
Yeah.
bit disproportional to her body, because
Mm-hmm.
she's supposed to look like a teenager in the beginning of the movie, and then she becomes more of an adult later on. Um, but it is honestly, I think it's honestly a good movie. And the One Piece, just like that movie, One Piece is wait, you're kidding. Mark says that they announced that they're working on the script for a sequel. What? What? This was back in
Nice.
November? Oh, dude. Dude. If they make a sequel, man, just take my money. I want to see it. It was so good. It's one of the few live action adaptations of an anime that I really enjoyed. There's been a lot of shit ones, you know, but and we've talked about some of the horrific ones that have existed, but Alita is one of the good ones. I really liked it. Um but yeah, yeah, I think let's see, we've come to the 9 o'clock hour. Do you have anything else you want to add, Lily? Any other topics before we go?
Um, no, I think we hit all the ones I wanted to talk about
All
this
right.
week.
Let's
Yeah.
take a look at the artwork, what we got so far. Let's see here. Nice. We both got into coloring today. Hell yeah.
Yeah. Mine is turning out. So s- I really need to watch the step by step
Hmm.
of some of the League of Legends artists, how they go through it, because I've watched it, but then I feel like if I look away and look back, I miss too many steps.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's just like I don't feel like I missed any steps, and yet when I'm doing it on my own, it's so weird.
Well, it's
Like,
more I don't know how to put it, but it's more painterly than cell
oh
shading.
yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's
It
almost
it
like
definitely
oil
is.
painting.
Yeah, and I
Mm-hmm.
really like that's what I want to, lean into.
Yeah.
I think it's because so when you're a fan artist, it's
Mm-hmm.
kind of hard to lean into a specific style
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
you're kind of just emulating all sorts of styles, and I think that's what I tend to do whenever I draw. Just I mean, this is obviously a fan art on its own, but I
Mm-hmm.
kind of wanted to do it in my quote style, which I think it's like I have a style. It
Yeah.
just Sometimes it leans one way or the other, just depending on what I've been drawing previously.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that's to say, like a lot of the splash arts for League of Legends lean towards more realistic proportions and
Mm-hmm.
more realism. Um, so that's why I think that type of painterly style is more beneficial for them.
Mm-hmm.
Um, whereas for like more anime-ish big eyes, it kind of looks weird, but that might be because I just don't know how they render it,
Well, the thing
first of
is,
all.
I think you have the foundation down, right? Like, I think you have the foundation of the technique down. I think now it's like you say, since your style tends to be a little bit more towards the anime side of it, whereas their style, although very anime influenced, has
Mhm.
a the way that they treat shadows is a lot more realistic. And I
Realistic,
yeah,
yeah.
and so you're having to find the shape within your style where that color can easily kind of it's I don't know the quite terminology, but where the color can wrap around your style, right? It's almost like
Yeah,
taking your 2D style into the 3D world, you know, and yeah, I
that's
definitely
true, yeah.
agree. Yeah, I agree where it's like doing doing that shift makes your brain have to like calculate your artwork in a completely different way. But I think you
Mhm.
have the foundations there. It's just like you said, it's gonna require a lot more, just more practice and repetition. But
Mhm.
I would say you're like 65% there, a little over halfway there. It's just now you have to kind of like retrain your brain into seeing your artwork in a more 3D space, which in
Yeah.
itself can be hard.
Mhm.
God knows. Well, because even like with today's piece, I'm trying to mess with color a little bit more, and obviously I'm still a little slow at it, but I'm still trying to figure out like, do I want to go more of a watercolor look? Do I want to go more of a painterly look? And if I want to go down the painterly look, I need to be more confident in my brush strokes, which obviously I'm not yet because you know I'm still pretty new to coloring. So yeah, it's like we got the foundations. We just now it's just gonna require repetition and us constantly hammering away at it till we get it.
Mhm.
that's that's a skill all in its own.
Mhm.
But I'm gonna keep beating up this drawing until it looks a little bit closer to something that I want it to.
Cool. I think I might scrap this one. I'm not really liking it, but it was a good practice.
You're going down the spawn drawing route, I see. No, no,
Oh
I get it.
well.
I'm not faulting you for it, man. I totally
I
get
like your
it.
spawn piece though. Your spawn piece is cool.
I get it. Like sometimes the more you look at your piece, the more you hate it. I
Like
totally
it
get it.
was coming to a point where I was like, yeah, trust the process. But right now I'm just like, I don't want to even go through the
It's like
process
fuck
anymore.
the process,
I'm
man.
tired. I
I
just want to
get
go to
it.
the next thing. Yeah. More studying.
Yeah, yeah. It's just gonna require more study, more practice on our
Mhm.
part.
More
We're just
practice.
gonna have to keep practicing. But that's the beauty
All
of
right.
art, folks. That's the beauty of art.
Yeah. Practice makes technique
Yeah,
and habit,
exactly.
not perfect.
Yep.
All right. But that should be it for this stream. Thanks for coming back, you guys, and joining us today to unwind. You can find Esso at Esso Art Studio on Instagram, TikTok, and Threads. Go check him out. All our links are down below. Check me out at Lily Lilac Draws on Instagram, Threads, Tumblr, and TikTok. If you'd like, go check out our coffee page for the studio. Any donations are kindly appreciated. Anyways, it's always a pleasure to unwind with you guys on every Friday to talk about the things that have inspired us or made us upset or made us angry or made us think. We'll see you next time, and remember, be creative.
Peace.
Bye.